Welcome to the InfoMolt YouTube channel. A significant amount of resources are required to upgrade an existing CPU. Because it is a significant commitment of your time and resources, you must do it right the first time, including picking the right processor for the laptop you are upgrading. In this video, we are going to help you in buying the best laptop processor for your laptop. The product's links are in the description. Let's get started. Number 7. Ryzen 5 7600 Desktop Processor by AMD. It's a low-cost new generation gaming CPU with plenty of upgrade options. AMD's Ryzen 5 7600 is the baby of the new generation, lacking the high core counts of its bigger brothers and the clock speed of its ex-counterparts, but that doesn't mean it's not a terrific CPU. In reality, it punches above its weight, providing equivalent performance to the 7600X at default settings, and it's nearly identical once Precision Boost Overdrive is enabled, although running at a lower power drain. AMD hasn't released an affordable, overclockable CPU in a few generations, but it's returned to its roots with a terrific alternative for anyone wishing to construct a new AM5 system without spending a fortune. Motherboards and DDR5 memory are still expensive, but this platform will be supported for years, so you shouldn't have to change anything for several generations of processors. It can support PCIe 5.0 on some 600 series motherboards for the cutting-edge socket AM5 platform. Number 6. Core i9-13900K Desktop Processor by Intel. Given the great performance of the Intel Core i9-12900K, the Intel Core i9-13900K already had a high bar to clear, but when AMD unveiled their Zen 4 processors in September 2022 to widespread acclaim, Intel's big. With this chip, Team Blue manages to do just that. Whether it's multi-threaded or single-threaded workloads like gaming, the Core i9-13900K just outperforms the competition, which is even more impressive given the superior performance of the competing other processors of the same price. Furthermore, Intel can do so without raising the chip's price over the previous generation, which is an astonishing performance given the semiconductor industry's inflationary pressures from still wonky supply chains and rising raw material and other production expenses. While it is still a costly chip, the money paid is well worth it given the amount of performance you get for the money. This is a chip that will serve you well over the long term. Number 5. Ryzen 5 7600X Desktop Processor. The AMD Ryzen 5 7600X is the most affordable processor in the new AMD Zen 4 series, but don't let its low price fool you. This chip is anything but light. Certainly, it can't compete with the enormous 16-core Ryzen 9 7950X, but its single-core performance is nearly as good. Furthermore, the loss of V-cache does not affect gaming performance, and gamers wanting to make the switch to AMD's AM5 platform will find a lot to like about this processor, especially because its lower price helps to offset the cost of a new motherboard and RAM. A very effective gaming CPU at $300 is fantastic, though it should be noted that you can now get the last-gen processor for a cheap price. With this aggressive price, AMD appears to be pushing Intel against the wall at the bottom end of the CPU market. The Ryzen 5 7600X isn't kidding about, with 6 cores, 12 threads, and a boost frequency of 5.3 GHz, a 0.6 GHz boost increase over the Ryzen 5 5600X. Number 4. Ryzen 9 7950X 16-core Desktop Processor by AMD. With great speed, energy efficiency, and compatibility with the latest DDR5 and PCIe 5.0 technology, the AMD Ryzen 9 7950X is easily the best processor on the market right now. There is no area where the processor doesn't either match or surpass competing chips on the market, and coming in at a somewhat lower price point than its predecessor, it is the enthusiast processor to purchase right now. It is ideal for gamers due to its ability to produce ultra-fast 100+ FPS performance in the world's most popular games. If there is one criticism of the Ryzen 9 7950X, it is that it is far too powerful for most people. As a result, this CPU is best reserved for professionals, intense gamers, and PC aficionados who want to be on the bleeding edge of technology. Number 3. Core i9-13900K Desktop Processor by Intel. Intel's Core i5-13600K proves that you don't need to spend a lot of money on a processor for gaming. It's the best Intel CPU you can buy right now, with 14 cores, 6P plus 8E, and 20 threads, as well as a boost frequency that can reach 5.1 GHz. It is not the fastest Intel CPU, nor is it the best for gaming. It's significantly less expensive than the 13700K and 13900K while providing extremely comparable gaming performance, especially at resolutions over 1080p. It provides far more value for money. It also dominates the AMD competition. It is significantly fast for gaming and can compete with the more expensive models. While you'll get your best performance with the 13600K with DDR5 RAM, you don't have to. Running it on a less expensive motherboard with DDR4 memory can make upgrading to the 13600K much cheaper than the alternatives, leaving plenty of leeway for future CPU and memory upgrades. Nevertheless, you will be unable to upgrade to 14th generation CPUs in the future because Intel is transitioning to a new socket design with the next generation. Number 2. Ryzen 5 2600X processor by AMD. AMD's 5 2600X processor, which has 6 cores and 12 threads, is slightly more expensive than other processors in its class, but it performs far better than its competitors. This device is ideal for anyone willing to pay a little more for a better stock cooler and faster factory set clock speeds. Similarly, if you can obtain an aftermarket cooler when you overclock the unit, it becomes an even more enticing method to save a few dollars but still has a solid processor. It's also a fantastic processor to buy for an AM4 motherboard. If you're not ready to change your entire laptop setup, this CPU will get you by until you're ready for a significant upgrade. With 6 cores and 12 threads, it is an excellent mid-range unit. It comes with a Wraithspire cooling, so your laptop won't overheat after extended use. It is compatible with AMD Storami, AMD Sensemi, the Ryzen Master Utility, and Ryzen VR. Prepare yourself for virtual gaming adventures. This is an excellent choice for anyone looking for a decent mid-range processor with fast clocking speeds and a small stock cooler straight from the manufacturer. Number 1. Ryzen 5 2600 processor with Wraith Stealth Cooler by AMD. AMD Ryzen 5 2600 was released to compete with Intel's premium versions. And, without a doubt, with significant advances over its predecessors, it presented a stiff challenge to its competitors. If you're building a new computer, the incremental upgrading to the second-generation Ryzen 5 is significantly more appealing. Additionally, the processor is an improvement over the quad-core first-generation Ryzen processor. The Ryzen 5 2600 clocks significantly faster than comparable processors in the same price range and offer improved DDR4 compatibility. It also has a 12nm development process, Storami for combining many drives into a single volume, XFR2 technologies, and Precision Boost 2. All of these fascinating features make this model perfect for both system designers and general users. The unit has a 3MB L2 cache, a 16MB cache, and a 576KB L1 cache, and it uses an AM4 socket, therefore it is compatible with all motherboards. Recently, AMD has significantly improved its newest processors, which is truly revolutionizing the processor world. Think again if you thought AMD units were worthless. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and share. And if you are new here, please subscribe to our channel.